Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Wednesday, February 1st, 2023, and giving you our team picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comment section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. Detroit Pistons vs Washington Wizards. The Wednesday NBA schedule will get underway with a matchup between the Washington Wizards and the Detroit Pistons from Little Caesars Arena. The Wizards, 24-26, are riding a 6-game winning streak and trail Atlanta by a half game for 8th place in the Eastern Conference standings. On Monday, Washington outscored San Antonio by 13 points during the second half to pull away for a 127-106 road triumph. The Washington Wizards are playing the last game of a long 5-game road trip in this one, which is always a difficult game to win. They have taken advantage of the Rockets, an injury-riddled Pelicans team, and the Spurs on the road trip, but I expect the Pistons to give them a battle. Detroit beat the Nets last Friday and covered in a narrow road loss to the Mavericks on Monday. Our team pick is Detroit Pistons plus 6 points. Furthermore, the Pistons are nearly as good as the Wizards in the offensive end. Washington is averaging 111 points per 100 possessions, while Detroit is at 108.9 points per 100. The Pistons are clicking offensively, averaging a remarkable 119.8 points in their last 4 games. Portland Trail Blazers vs Memphis Grizzlies. This Wednesday, the 24-26 Portland Trail Blazers will travel to Memphis, Tennessee to take on the 32-18 Memphis Grizzlies. Tip-off will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time inside the FedEx Forum. This will be the second meeting between these two teams this season, as the Grizzlies won the last matchup, 111-106. The Trailblazers are coming into this one after taking down the Atlanta Hawks, 129-125. They looked awesome on the offensive end of the court, as they will have to stay hot if they want to challenge the Grizzlies on the road. The Grizzlies are entering this game after defeating the Indiana Pacers, 112-100. They were a lead on both ends of the floor, as they will have to stay efficient in this one if they want to take care of business at home. I am going to ride with the Grizzlies at home, and I am going to lay the points, minus 5.5. Portland has been solid on the offensive end of the court as of late, but this Memphis defense isn't easy to beat. The Grizzlies are going to lock down on the defensive end and get enough stops to cover this spread. According to dunksandtrees.com, they have the second lowest adjusted defensive rating, and they are holding their opponents to the lowest shooting percentage from the field. Portland won't be able to handle their pressure, and they will slowly fall behind. The Trailblazers haven't impressed me on the defensive end of the court either. The Grizzlies will be able to consistently attack, as Portland is allowing the 22nd highest shooting percentage from the floor, and they only have the 25th lowest adjusted defensive rating. Memphis is scoring the 7th most points per game, and they have been very tough to beat at home. They will show up on both ends of the court and take care of business. Pick the Memphis Grizzlies and lay the points, minus 5.5. Philadelphia 76ers vs Orlando Magic. In Wednesday night NBA action, the Orlando Magic and the Philadelphia 76ers will engage in a rematch from the Wells Fargo Center. The Magic, 20-31, have lost 18 of their first 25 road games and appear to have a bright future centered around number 1 overall draft pick Paolo Banchero. On Monday, Orlando outscored Philadelphia by 14 points during the third quarter to earn a 119-109 road victory. This is a tough game to handicap, given that both teams have a key player who is questionable to play, but I feel much better about backing Orlando as a road underdog. Our team pick is Orlando plus 9.5 points. The Magic have been one of the most confident teams in the NBA since their rough start to the season, covering the spread in 8 of their last 10 games coming into this game. They have covered in 5 of their last 6 road games and will be even more confident following their upset win on Monday. Philadelphia could be without its leading scorer, which would be a huge blow. Boston Celtics vs Brooklyn Nets. In the first game of a Wednesday NBA on ESPN doubleheader, the Brooklyn Nets will invade TD Garden to battle the Boston Celtics. The Nets, 31-19, have won consecutive games and are currently in fourth place in the Eastern Conference standings. On Monday, Brooklyn outscored Los Angeles by 14 points during the fourth quarter to pull away for a 121-104 home victory. I am going to take the Celtics at home, and I am going to lay the points, -8.5. Boston is the better offensive team in this matchup, and I don't think these two teams are even when Kevin Durant isn't on the floor. Boston is also 5-0 at TS in their last 5 meetings overall, as they will be looking to dominate again in this game. The Boston offense is also extremely tough to beat, as they have the third highest adjusted offensive rating, and they are scoring the third most points per game. Tatum and Brown are tough to stop, and they have multiple key players that can come off the bench and contribute as well. Brooklyn is still dealing with injuries, and I don't see Irving carrying his team to victory in this one. Boston also has the 5th lowest adjusted defensive rating, and they are holding their opponents to the 10th lowest shooting percentage from the floor. They will pressure the Nets consistently throughout this game and keep them from scoring enough points to cover the spread. Pick the Boston Celtics and lay the points, -8.5. San Antonio Spurs vs Sacramento Kings. The Sacramento Kings look for their second consecutive victory on Wednesday when visiting the San Antonio Spurs. Sacramento is 28-21 and the first in the Pacific Division, 2 games ahead of the second-place LA Clippers. Sacramento defeated the Minnesota Timberwolves in overtime 118-111 on Monday night. De'Aaron Fox was the leading scorer for Sacramento with 32 points. I like the Sacramento Kings on the road, and I am going to lay the points, -7.5. They are currently one of the best defensive teams in the league, as I don't see the Spurs being able to slow them down. According to dunksandthrees.com, the Kings have the highest adjusted offensive rating, and they are scoring the most points per game. They have been very tough to stop, and the Spurs have one of the worst defenses in the NBA. They have the lowest adjusted defensive rating, and they are allowing the most points per game. San Antonio has struggled to consistently contest shots near the rim and the perimeter, as the Kings will find open shots throughout this game, and I expect them to take advantage. Pick the Sacramento Kings and lay the points, -7.5. Sacramento has quickly climbed the standings, and the Spurs continue to fall in the wrong direction. Minnesota Timberwolves vs Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors look for their 4th consecutive victory when visiting the Minnesota Timberwolves on Wednesday. Golden State is 26-24 and 3rd in the Pacific Division, 2 1/2 games behind the first-place Sacramento Kings. Golden State defeated the Oklahoma City Thunder 128-120 on Monday night, behind 38 points and 12 assists from Stephen Curry. After being atrocious on the road through close to the first half of the season, Golden State has begun to find its groove. The Warriors have won 3 out of their last 4 road games, with the most recent road loss being in a 121-118 overtime game against the Celtics on January 19. Although things have been better recently, the sample size of road success is still small for the season. The Timberwolves are also on a roll with wins in 4 of their last 5 games at home. Our team pick is Minnesota Timberwolves +3 points. Minnesota will be ready to face the defending champs at home here, whereas Golden State could get caught looking ahead to their road trip to Denver on Thursday. I expect this to be a tightly contested game in which either team can win straight up, so I will take the home dog and the points.